Mandatory fields in Notion databases. This is the question that I keep receiving from my clients, asking me how can they set some of the fields in Notion databases to be mandatory. Well, unfortunately, at the moment, this is still not possible in Notion, but I did create sort of a workaround or something that can be helpful in those cases when it's really important that some of the fields, some of the properties are filled. So, what do I do? When something is so important that you shouldn't miss it and that you really have to fill that out, then I basically create a warning formula that indicates and sends you a message, displays a message to say, hey, this is missing, please fill that out. So it is not a mandatory field, but it is helpful. So you have better overview of what is still missing. I will show you now on an example of how this can work on a sales pipeline dashboard. Here we have one database for accounts. And when we are entering new accounts, some properties, some information is probably more important than the other. So, for example, here you can see a warning displayed that potential value is missing. Here it says account owner is missing, and here as well. And these don't have any warnings displayed. So how does this actually work? I will just open one example account. And here, this is the account, and we don't have any warning here displayed because the field is set so that if there is no warning, it will not be displayed. But let's find it where it actually is. So here, where's our warning? Here it is. Here's our warning property. So if we take a look, first, it is hidden when it's empty. I will change this now to always show, and I will bring it up just so we have a better overview of it. So now there is no warning because all the important fields are actually filled up. But if I delete the potential value, then here the warning will appear. If I enter the potential value again, then there is no more warning. How this is set up, it's a formula basically. And you can combine more properties. It doesn't have to be just one. You can combine as many as you need. I will show you exactly how this formula is set now. This is the actual formula. I will just magnify this a little bit so you can see it better. So what does this formula actually do? It checks whether property potential value is empty, and if it is, then it will display a warning potential value is missing, and this is some additional formatting to it. Another thing that it does, again, it checks whether industry property is empty and displays this warning. It also checks whether we have an account owner. It checks whether source is empty. It also checks we have a status property and we have a deal closed date. So it checks whether status is closed, but the date is missing. Then it tells you, please, deal close date is missing, you should fill that. And it checks whether if status is not closed, but we do have a deal close date entered, then it says you should really check the status. So you have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 properties combined in a formula to display such a warning. So I think it is a nice thing to have as long as we don't have actual mandatory fields in Notion, this really can be helpful. If you would like to set this up in your databases, again, here is the formula. You can, of course, adapt it to your own properties. You can choose the messages to be displayed, but this is basically it. I hope you find this helpful, and I wish you a nice day. Thank you.